nappy as fuck. Anyway, people, what up? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye. That's right, we're back, motherfuckers. Gosh, it feels like it's been forever since our last Premier League game. And it's weird. This is probably one of the first times I think I've said this during the show. The international break was the wrong time for Arsenal, but probably the right time for me and the show. Not that I was getting burnt out or anything, but I think, you know, I'd fallen out with friends of the show. I'd fallen out with long-term subscribers of the show. I'd fallen out with people. And it's just a case of the fact that, you know, I had a different opinion to people. So what I've decided is this. For me, I'm no longer going to engage with people who are aggressively rude about, you know, my team selection or anything. You know, life is too short. I get it from a perspective of, I said this in my last video and I'll say this again. To me, it's very obvious what's happening in the fan base at the moment. There is a lot of a feel-good factor because we finally got rid of Wenger. That's great. What I don't subscribe to, though, is this attitude that, you know, you can't criticize a player. Since when? You know, it's kind of like you see people like, a good example is Xhaka. You know, I saw quite a few people criticizing Xhaka, and then I also saw quite a few people going after those said people because he made one error. It's like, oh, well, you know, the 90% of everything that he did came off, so what's the problem? Really? We conceded a goal that could have, on any other day, cost us a game. I don't care if 90% of your game was decent or good. If you cost us a game, what comfort is that to me? If you have 90% a good season and a 10% of contribution that you had cost us a game, why wouldn't I point that out? Why wouldn't I critique that? And that's all it is, people. It's a critique. It's my opinion. The one thing you'll say for me is I'm consistent. I will critique no matter what. And I won't take into account whether Emery's here or Emery isn't. Whether Wenger's here or Wenger isn't. I will critique people the way I see fit. That's me. I'm consistent. At the very least, anyone here watching that would accept that. And it just seems like people have done a complete 180 since Wenger's left. And now they've gone from this attitude of, well, you know, I'm criticizing most things to, no, you've got to be happy about everything. Otherwise, I'm going to come after you. I don't subscribe to that rule. What I subscribe to is being honest with you guys. You guys deserve me to be honest with you. So that's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm no longer going to engage with those people who have an issue. So let's start with a complete blank slate, move forward, because I've got big things coming for this show. So let's get it cracking. Let's go with the preview first and foremost. So apologies, it didn't look. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get Graham like I initially intended. Just haven't been able to get hold of him like I wanted. So I would endeavour to get him on the show because I know he said to me before that he would quite like to come on the show. So apologies for that if you're expecting to see Graham's face with me. So was I last week, but things changed. So anyway, let's move forward with the preview. And let's talk about Newcastle and Rafa Benitez Newcastle. I'll be honest, I think Newcastle have been unlucky. I think, considering the fact that their owner is, for the sake of the show, a person I'm not a fan of, let's be discreet here, and has not supported that club whatsoever over the summer transfer window. And it's a miracle that Rafa's still there. because quite frankly, he's too good for that club. Not for the club. Let me apologise, because Newcastle are a big club. He's too good for that situation. To be honest, Newcastle are showing fight. This, on paper, seems like a routine game. Newcastle at the bottom of the league. We should be able to just run through them. I don't see this being that easy, though. I feel like we're going to have some problems here. I think they're going to be... Newcastle away is never an easy game for us. We always have problems going up to Newcastle. It tends to be a tight game. And I see this being another tight game. We're not very good at keeping clean sheets at the moment. You guys know I've had strong opinions on our central defenders. But fair play to Mustafi. Listen, I'll give credit where credit is due. Do I think Mustafi was man of the match against Cardiff? No, I don't. We conceded 2 fucking goals. You're not going to get man of the match when we concede 2 goals to a team that hasn't scored previously. Having said that, it was definitely a good performance from him. And I want to see that going forward. Listen, I want Mustafi to prove me wrong. I want him. I'm desperate for him to prove me wrong. Because as I keep saying, if he does well, then surely the team has done well. Because we never had a problem in attack. It's always in defence. And I'm not solely blaming Mustafi, but surely if he has a good season, that must mean the defence is on its way to being solved. And that's the other fucking problem I have. And I will say this because after this video, it is going to be a clean slate. You know, I see people defending Bellerin, Mustafi, Socrates, Xhaka. People, it's got to be somebody's fault. We're conceding goals. Czech has conceded 9 goals this season. We've only played 4 fucking games. 9 goals. And speaking of Czech, there's 2 things that every Arsenal fan I think can agree of. Right? That is the fact that this weekend, we want to see Lacazette and Aubameyang playing together. We don't want no bullshit. It worked against Cardiff. Let's not tinker that bit around. Right? Because I heard him answer this question in the press conference and he was still a little bit ambiguous and I was a bit like, oh, bruh, I need them both playing. They proved that situation works. Don't mess around with it. Just keep that situation the way it is. And then Czech. Now, this is coming from me because I was one of the very, very few people that believed it was the right decision to start Czech as number 1. Because you've got a goalkeeper here who, let's call a spade, is prone to errors. And I wanted him to be able to claim that spot from Czech. Do I believe that Emre's actually going to play him? Nope. I think for whatever reason, he has this unshakable faith in Czech. Well, my faith in Czech got shook fucking against Cardiff. I think it's time now. It's time. I'm not gonna lie. It's time. It's time to play Leno. Cardiff was like, what on earth is going on? And I think for me, and this is just how I see it, I think in the Europa League, Czech will have all the time in the world to learn his trade, learn this kind of... It sounds silly talking about a 36-year-old learning their trade, but let's face it, he's learning how to do this playing from the back system. And I think surely if you're going to do that, the place to do that is in the Europa League. In the Europa League, he can learn that because he's not going to get pressed in the way that in the Premier League, where it's fast-paced and all most teams seem to do these days is press. He's not going to have that time in the Premier League, whereas he would in the Europa. Whereas conversely, with Leno, he's used to that. He's used to playing in the way that Emre wants. We've got enough problems with our defence. We don't need our goalkeeper to be on some calamity shit. So, from my perspective, And I'm one of the few people that's had faith with Czech. After 4 games, I've seen enough. I expected to give him longer myself. But no, for me, I would play Leno. I think it's time. I think Czech save-wise has been good. If you want to bang on about statistics, he's up there. I think he's like 2nd or 3rd in terms of number of saves he's made this season. Unfortunately, he's also up there in terms of the amount of goals he's conceded. And what ain't helping is the way he's playing. He's not installing confidence in that defense, which to me is the first responsibility of a goalkeeper. You have to give your defense confidence that you know what the fuck you're doing. That if they give you the ball, you're able to handle that situation. And he can't. He can't handle that situation. So for me, I'm sorry, Czech. I would drop him and I would go ahead and I would start Leno. Right back, Hector, sit down. I expect Emre to play him. If it was me, if Lichtsteiner is fit, that's a big if because he only played on Tuesday. If Lichtsteiner is fit, I play Lichtsteiner in this game. Let's do this. Let's make some fucking changes and tweak this shit. So I think Lichtsteiner and Mustafi, even as much as I've had issues with Mustafi, that combination I think could be a really good defensive unit. I think he could really help Mustafi. So for me, I play Lichtsteiner next to Mustafi in defence. I can't drop Mustafi. He played well against Cardiff. Same again. You have to support the confidence of the player. So I play him. Socrates, on the other hand, I didn't think had a great game against Cardiff. I think he's done okay. But in every game so far, he's been okay or poor. Poor being Cardiff. So I want to start seeing good from him. Like, what kind of strike force do you actually perform well in then? That's what I want to see. So for me, I play Socrates, but I'll be honest, his place is under threat for me. And I know that might be harsh, but Mustafi at least is showing signs of life. He's showing that maybe he might be able to improve. I'm yet to see a game where I've seen Socrates and think, yeah, he played really well. Really well. I think he's been okay. I think he's been all right. I don't think he's been spectacular, though. And that's my concern. Some might say he's only been 4 games into a new league. Give him a chance. I'm not dropped him yet. I'm still playing him. So I play Socrates in this game. On the left-hand side, I play Nacho Monreal. He's in discussions over a new contract, which is good news. Having said that, I still believe we need to look at a younger left-back. A lot of stories came out earlier this week that is what Emre is looking at in the summer. I think that left side in general is an area we need to look at. But for now, I don't think Nacho had a great game against Cardiff as well. Normally Mr. Consistent, but I didn't think he had a great game against Cardiff. But hey, with Nacho, I think he'll know that. He'll know that before anyone else. So I still play him in this game. Now, in the middle, this one's a big debate. Xhaka, you guys know my feelings on Xhaka. I still want to see Xhaka and Lichtsteiner on the same pitch because I think Lichtsteiner would help him. I know Xhaka would play on the other side of the pitch technically because he's a left footer, but I think Lichtsteiner will help him. So I can't believe I'm going to say this, but like I said to you 2 weeks ago, I have not written Xhaka off yet. Not far off, but I've not written him off yet. To me, I played Xhaka, but I tell Xhaka, I need a performance from you, bruh. I need it from you. I love Guendouzi. To me, I sit him down in this game. I think we've given him too much too soon, and I'd just like to see us rein that in. Plus, if we're playing Xhaka, you don't play 2 players who are very, very similar, and they are very, very similar. It's time to start Torreira. Let's stop fucking around and start him. Let's see what happens when he actually starts next to Xhaka. Everybody keeps saying, oh, you'll see the best of Xhaka when he starts next to Torreira. All right, let's see it. Let's see it. So I start Torreira and I start Xhaka together. To me, now this is my opinion. I keep saying this. I don't think you play Ramsey, Mickey, Ozil, Xhaka in the same team and then be surprised with conceding goals. So Mkhitaryan don't get in my team. Not in my starting lineup anyway. Ramsey don't get in my starting lineup. Quite frankly, I'd be tempted to sell him if he's still fucking around over this contract. Right? So my 3 attacking midfielders would be, I'd play Mesut Ozil as a number 10. He's had a nice long rest. You know Ozil and his rest. He's been retired from international duty, remember? So I don't want to see any nonsense from him. I just want to see a good performance from Mesut. On the left-hand side, I want to see Aubameyang. Aubameyang, I think, did well in kind of small bursts against Cardiff. I rewatched that game. Yeah, I think he did all right. He did all right. And I just love his relationship with the striker I'm going to name up top. On the right-hand side, and you guys might see this as favoritism, sure, go ahead and say that. I think he's had an encouraging start to the season. I think he'll be pretty good in terms of interchanging. Plus, we've never seen this guy and Ozil in the same team. I've got a feeling it could do something. And that is Alex Iwobi. I think he's had a really encouraging start to the season. I know he was ill against Cardiff, which is why he wasn't in the squad. I'd personally like to see him start. And I think if he does opt for Bellerin, you're going to need help. He's going to need help. So Iwobi does do the tracking back. He has added that to his game over the last 18 months. So to me, I play Iwobi in this game. And then up top, I go with Alex Lacazette. That would be my hopeful starting 11. I can't stress this enough. I say hopeful 11 because I never predict what the manager does. This is simply what I would do. So, as I always say, but it bears repeating and stressing, if you disagree with the starting 11, put your starting 11 below. Let me know what you think and why you think that. And your reasoning for that. What sort of threats do you believe that Newcastle pose? I think they'll pose quite a physical threat, but I also feel like I don't know. I just feel like we need someone to kind of neutralize a John Joe Salvi, which is why I think someone like a Torreira will relish that sort of battle. You know, and I think it will be an interesting battle. It will be a tight affair. I do think we'll win. I've thought all along while doing this video it'll be 1-0 to Arsenal. So I'm going to go for 1-0 Arsenal. I think we'll actually get a clean sheet, provided he plays that team. You guys let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know your starting 11s. I actually do, when people do put their starting 11s, I actually like reading them. I like gauging what people think. So let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, crush, destroy, drop kick the shit out of that like button. I appreciate every time you guys do that. Oh, and one more thing, the announcement. So I've been working hard on this for the last couple of months, really. But I'd like to formally announce my partnership with the FNX network. So from now on, all my shows will be going on to the FNX network. So it's just reaching out to new listeners. New people have the opportunity to just listen to the show. Also, I'm 3 weeks away from announcing some shows that I'm going to put on iTunes. So I'm going to be doing all this. I know if I put on shows on iTunes, I'm going to have to get a fucking new mic. So I'm going to be doing all this stuff. So this show is formally going to be on the FNX network. So as soon as it's uploaded, I'm going to put the audio version on the FNX network for people to listen to. So I know a lot of Aussies tend to listen to the FNX network. So there you go. That's for my Aussie fan base. All right, people. I'm out of here. Take care. Deuces.